Bitcoin is rapidly gaining popularity nowadays as many people look to cryptocurrency as a valid medium of exchange. The digital currency is taking the limelight thanks to people like Elon Musk, who is constantly putting it out there. People all over the world have invested their hard-earned money in Bitcoin in hopes that someday they will get huge returns from it. Are you one of the people who have invested in Bitcoin? If you are, then this video is a must-watch for you. We're going to talk about what experts believe will happen to Bitcoin in the next few years. Is there money to be made there? Or should you sell your Bitcoin and invest somewhere else? Let's find out what experts have to say and learn a few valuable lessons along the way. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Bitcoin reached its peak in 2017 by reaching a value of $19,783. This made people sit up and take notice. Professionals, as well as amateurs, started taking cryptocurrencies seriously. However, the dream didn't last long because Bitcoin was an extremely volatile asset and it crashed shortly thereafter. It lost 25% of its value in just a day, and by the end of 2018, it was valued at below $4,000. Because of what happened, people everywhere were skeptical about its future. However, those who follow Bitcoin regularly know that it was worth mere cents in 2008, but the value shot up to hundreds in 2016. Despite the many times its value plummeted, it had stabilized at a price that would still make investors unbelievable profits. The digital currency is notorious for its drawbacks. Its volatility is widely recognized and feared, and this has led a few investors, including the great Warren Buffett, to criticize it along with other cryptocurrencies. He says that it's risky and worthless. The recent rollout of China's digital currencies is not doing anything to assure people. It's just making discussions about the vulnerability of Bitcoin gain more momentum. So what do experts have to say about it? Brock Pierce, the actor turned crypto titan, has a few things to say about it. When asked where he sees Bitcoin in 10 years' time, he's confident about it and actually feels bullish. He can't help but take a swipe at the US government's fiscal decisions. The growth of Bitcoin in the last 6 months makes him very optimistic about the technology's future. He believes that the US government's decisions to overprint and spend excessively is only going to work in Bitcoin's favor. He believes that from what happened last year, Bitcoin won't slow down anytime soon. The crypto landscape has changed drastically since it's charged onto the financial scene. There is a major attraction that makes it enticing to people, and it's the fact that every transaction that has ever occurred is put out in the open. He thinks that public ledger makes fraudulent applications nearly impossible. Is Bitcoin too risky for the average guy? It can't be denied that Bitcoin is volatile. A look at its history will tell you that there have been a number of occasions when it spiked and then crashed down very quickly. It wiped out billions of dollars easily from the total cryptocurrency market value. Although it can mean big returns, it can also mean big losses. It comes with inherent risk. This is why investors such as Mark Cuban liken it to gambling. He has wise words for those who want to invest in it, and that is to only invest as much money as you can afford to lose. You have to be mentally and financially prepared that a crash could happen anytime, even tomorrow. Some experts advise starting small while doing some research and learning more about it. You can buy as little as $5 of Bitcoin because there is the ability to purchase fractional shares called Satoshis, as pointed out by the co-founder of cryptocurrency hedge fund Morgan Creek Digital Assets and Bitcoin investor Anthony Pompliano. If you decide to invest, he also advises holding onto it longer. By design, there is only a limited number of Bitcoin, so he believes that as demand increases, so will the price. A lot of young people are investing in Bitcoin, according to Joey Krug, the co-chief investment officer at Pantera Capital. Why are a lot of people attracted to Bitcoin? This could be because young people tend to hold assets further out on the risk curve. They also see the government printing trillions in fiscal stimulus, and this can rapidly debase the US dollar. Meanwhile, they have an increasingly strong sense that socioeconomic advancement opportunities are few and far in between. This has resulted in younger people owning more Bitcoin than gold, and Krug thinks that this trend is not going to be reversed anytime soon. He has further advice for novice Bitcoin investors. The first thing is to remember that Bitcoin's value could go down to 70% or even more. But the good news is that it can also easily go up to many multiples of that value. Finally, in light of the first two things just mentioned, it's important to figure out an investment size that will let you hold Bitcoin without losing sleep over it for each short-term price swing. So, are Bitcoin wallets safe? In July 2020, there was a widespread Twitter hack that compromised several celebrity accounts, including that of former President Barack Obama, President-elect Joe Biden, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk in a Bitcoin scam. This resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars of Bitcoin being transferred under false pretenses. This prompted many people to question the safety of Bitcoin. There have been many instances of Bitcoin theft and fraud that have given pause to the average investor, especially those who wanted to invest a substantial amount. James Ledbetter, the editor and publisher of the fintech newsletter FIN, believes that this is a legitimate concern. However, he also thinks that these fears are overblown. While Bitcoin gives users the capability to transact without revealing their identity or personal information, it doesn't guarantee anonymity. Each transaction is documented on a digital ledger called a blockchain, and this is where a user's cryptocurrency wallet is identified as a unique series of random letters and numbers. There is still the possibility of a scammer tracing it. Bitcoin has a public ledger, and this is what everyone needs to be aware of. The good news is that Bitcoin is extremely difficult to hack thanks to blockchain. Ledbetter also wants to point out that even a traditional stock account with a brokerage could also be compromised. Everything in finance has potential risk when it comes to security. Nothing is risk-free. The safest thing an investor can do is to use a trusted brokerage and look for companies that have excellent security protocols and a quick application to protect. Today, Bitcoin is being viewed as digital gold. This is because of its scarcity value, as there will only be approximately 21 million Bitcoin in existence, according to Lucy Gazmarian, the founder and managing partner of Token Bay Capital. She thinks that in 5 to 10 years' time, it could easily become the world's leading reserve asset. There are already signs today of such a thing happening as the world starts adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets. She also believes that money is going to become a more complicated medium of payment than it's ever been before, especially with the onset of digital currencies. Cryptocurrencies, as well as digital representation of value, will seamlessly interoperate within the world's digital economy. What things should potential investors know? Gazmarian thinks that they should develop their own view of Bitcoin and have clear answers of why they are holding on to it. Furthermore, there are distinct operational risks that come with holding Bitcoin. After all, it's just a virtual currency that can be stolen from your digital wallet should anyone get a hold of your private keys. Is Bitcoin a bubble? David Rosenberg, the chief economist at Rosenberg Research, considers Bitcoin currently the biggest market bubble. However, Bitcoin bulls think that the 2017 rally was different because the force behind it was speculation from retail investors. On the other hand, the current rally is driven by institutional investors purchasing the coin. Ledbetter also agrees and adds that big companies all over the world have publicly invested in Bitcoin. Indeed, Bitcoin has garnered support from notable financial companies such as MicroStrategy, Fidelity, Square, and PayPal. But of course, where there are supporters, there are also naysayers, and as mentioned before, one of them is Warren Buffett. He told CNBC in 2018 that, in terms of cryptocurrencies, generally, I can say with almost certainty that they will come to a bad ending. So why do people trust Bitcoin so much? Where does it all come from? It has got something to do with who is doing the investing. Publicly traded companies and large hedge funds are driving the current bull cycle, and they don't have the same reputational drawbacks which retail investors do. The involvement of such huge players has given Bitcoin the legitimacy it sorely needs. It is very likely that we are beginning to see the entry of digital currency in the mainstream. In the following years, we can expect the market to harden to its proper mold. The global health situation has also affected how people, companies, and governments invested their capital. Today, companies as well as nations are hedging their assets with crypto, like we have never seen before. Another factor that will likely drive up the price of Bitcoin is supply. Although it can be mined, investors depend on supply. As this trend continues, prices will rise. However, there could also be consequences to the supply problem which investors need to pay attention to. What valuable lessons have you learned in today's video about Bitcoin? Are you looking forward to investing in Bitcoin too? Let us know in the comments section. We will see you again in our next video.